Are we not using the microphone because it would be too complicated?
I think it's too complicated to use it.
Right, so we're going to project. This is Michael playing the part of Adam.
Hey, Michael.
I'm Marjorie playing the part of Eve. Rabbi Jill playing the official. And I do have programs which I'll give out afterwards. No, as soon as it's over, if you want to give them out, that would be great.
No, she doesn't want people reading.
When
When
it's
it's
over.
over.
Oh, I didn't hear. Sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the way people read them. The wedding ceremony. Adam, I wish our mothers could be here. They'd be so happy. Although I'm a little scared getting married for the first time at this time in my life.
I whistle a happy tune, and every single time the happiness in the tune convinces me that I'm not afraid.
I guess I should be whistling. It's years ago now, but every time his mother came to visit us, or we would visit her, she would wait until she and I were alone, and she'd go on and on how we were living in sin. It really upset her that we weren't married. We were living together, and she considered that a sin. She was a very religious woman and often gave what little money she had to the church.
Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage.
There were years of tension between Eve and her mother because of the racial difference. It was bad enough I wasn't Jewish. We'd visit her mother, but we never spent the night. Eve refused. Believe it or not, I was the one who finally insisted they bridge their conflict.
In the Jewish tradition, couples get married under a chuppah, which is like a tent. But since I know that you hate camping, we can have an invisible chuppah, symbolizing that we will continue to be each other's shelter from the storm. By the way, how long have we known each other?
I can't remember. I'm having a senior moment. And besides, who's counting?
Let's see, we met in the spring of 1960, and now it's 2009, so that's
49 years.
How did it get so late, so soon?
49 years in the blink of an eye. It's too fast, way too fast.
You are right on with the math.
Thank you.
Adam, you are my best friend. You have stood by me like the Hindu goddess Shakti. You have stood by me through storm and longing and storm and impulse.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
I became involved with the yoga ashram, and then he became involved also. I was looking for the meaning of life, and he was looking for women. I never found the meaning of life. He did find many women, some of whom he was involved with, but that never bothered me. He still goes there. I gave it up long ago. Besides, if I did go back, nobody would even recognize me because I've changed so physically over the years. He looks exactly the same. Well, maybe he has a few more white hairs.
And you are my best friend, Eve. My life would be boring without you.
Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Albert Camus.
And that's the truth. My life would be boring without Eve. There's nothing Eve isn't interested in. Hobbies galore. Flute, accordion, trumpet, recorder, ventriloquism, balloon twisting, singing, knitting, crocheting, needlepoint, clamming, muscling, canoeing, kayaking, rowboating, camping, hiking, photography, travel, animals, yoga, tai chi, working out, art, bridge, stained glass, and the list goes on and on. More different jobs than anyone I've ever known. College professor, massage therapist, writer, phone fantasy worker, to name a few. I'm not like her, but I have to admit, she's fun to be with. I'm just slower paced than she is.
I promise to make your life appealing, exciting, attention-grabbing, out of the ordinary, and worthy of note, and hopefully without the storms.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark.
Adam likes to travel. Other than that, he is just content to be.
And like the Hindu goddess Shakti, I promise to restore you to balance if need be.
An anonymous person once said, when you meet someone who can cook and do housework, don't hesitate a minute, marry him. So after 49 years, I am so glad you want to marry me. But I just wish you'd get a cell phone so I wouldn't have to worry about you when you're off and about for hours on end.
You know, the word isn't out yet on cell phones. We're swimming in a sea of electromagnetic radiation. 2 billion people are using cell phones, but I refuse. Why should I risk a brain tumor?
Hillary put the word out on cell phones. She said, there are 4 billion cell phones in use today. Many of them are in the hands of market vendors, rickshaw drivers, and others who've historically lacked access to education and opportunity. Information networks have become a great leveler, and we should use them together to help lift people out of poverty and give them freedom from want.
You're already starting to sound like a nagging wife with regards to those damn cell phones.
Come on, I've been nagging you for as long as I can remember.
You're right. And Eve, I can't promise not to nag you about leaving dirty dishes in the sink, your dirty feet, and sand and animals in the bed. But I do promise to love you always. An anonymous person once said, you have to kiss a lot of toads before you find a handsome prince.
Don't you mean frogs? And wait a minute here, they weren't all toads. And wait another minute, I love frogs and toads and think they're beautiful. But yes, you are my handsome prince. And like Sophie Tucker sang, make it legal, Mr. Siegel. Do you know Sophie Tucker? My parents loved her and played her records all the time. They especially liked the song Make It Legal, Mr. Siegel, written by Jack Yellen, who, by the way, also wrote FDR's campaign song, Happy Days Are Here Again. So we might as well make it legal after all these years. But you see, I love women. But there hasn't been anybody since Katie. There were so many women before Katie, but none since. She was married when I met her. She's dead now, and I just don't think there will ever be another woman for me. And that's okay. I accept that.
I know this is kind of a shotgun wedding. I just hope there's no more children.
We do have 5 amazing, miraculous kids. Irving, Moxie, Candy Cane, and Bella, and now little Katie, who we just rescued from a field. I named her Katie because Katie loved cats. But we just found out Katie is a boy. My Katie would have had a laugh that I named a male kitten after her.
Well, Johnny Cash sings about a boy called Sue.
We just found out that Katie's a boy? I told you from the beginning that Katie was a boy. Believing some dude in the city over a farm boy? Man, oh man.
You're right. You grew up on a farm and even went to a one-room schoolhouse. Anyway, now they'll have a legal daddy. And all of our other children we have loved so deeply and have loved us so unconditionally through the years. Niobe, Nike, Sweets, Oberon, Sibel, Milo, Jojo, and Frosting. Who was it who said animals, wonderful creatures? They don't live long enough. Their only fault, really. I can't say I won't have any more, but I do promise to love you always. There really isn't much that I regret in my life except not having a baby. I mean, I'm a woman and I'll never get to experience childbirth. I've been pregnant twice. I had an abortion at 18. The irony is that Adam lent me the money to have the abortion. No, he was not the father at that time. And it was an illegal abortion on a kitchen table. I also had a miscarriage 10 years later. That would have been Adam's baby. So all my motherly love is poured into my pets. They are my children, and maybe some of you can understand that.
I promise to love you always.
Are you exchanging rings?
Well, you see, once upon a time, there were 2 rings, lost in the sands of time and washed by the surf, sea, and storms. And then both rings were found by my metal detector. 1 ring fit my finger, and 1 ring fits Adam's finger. The 2 rings were going to be exchanged in the ceremony, but alas, Adam can't find his ring. Once again lost, but this time lost in well, we really don't know. Maybe it fell into a black hole. We have lots of those where we live. The moral of the story?
That's in the ear of the listener.
We would like to break the glass, which is a custom actually done by the man, but I wrap 2 glasses and 2 cloths so we can both break them.
This is where it's broken. And this is where it's going to be broken. May you always be each other's best friend and greatest love. Now you may break the glasses.
Wait. You're wearing sandals. You're going to cut your feet.
Oh, be careful.
No.
Okay, just a second. Can I borrow your shoes?
Oh, sure, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you. There you go. Right there. Right there.
I think we can proceed now. You may break the glasses. Mazel tov!
Yay!
This is a joyous occasion. Relatives, friends from long ago, new friends, and friends and relatives who couldn't make it on this short notice, who are here with us in spirit, are celebrating the marriage of Adam and Eve. In the Jewish tradition, this glass was broken to remind us that in times of joy, we must not forget that the world as a whole is broken and needs mending. And each of us can find ways to put the pieces of glass back together. And with the cosmic blessing that even Adam will continue to be a beacon of light for all species, and to know joy and love every day. With the power invested in me, I now pronounce you each other's spouses.
Yay!
The end. Or the beginning.
Yeah, thank you. And we have programs. What happens to them? I'll give out the program.